Just going to do a little update on the video I made yesterday regarding like the interest rates and everything going up. And I know KR, I think he sent me a message on WhatsApp, and I believe he was like, I didn't read the message properly because I've been driving all day, but he was like, what am I doing towards it? And of course, you can see a chart in front of you, which is the stochastic RSI and RSI for Bitcoin, right, on a weekly. Now, question is, what am I doing about it? Well, I've been preparing for this for some time, actually. I think I've briefly mentioned about this before as well. When the conversations arised, I did talk about it. And I said, guys, when shit hits the fan, right? When we have this big great reset or monetary collapse, and we'll talk about the great reset actually. It's a good point. And so when we talk about this, like where the money and the inflation and all of this is going to come into effect and, ultimately affect us, I don't want to be in GBP, because I know that GBP is going to be shattered, and other currencies around the world will also be, completely obliterated. Now, everyone's probably going to be asking, well, how, why, and why would you be on USD, right? What's the significance of USD? But the significance is this, that USD currently is the global reserve currency. By it being the global reserve currency, whatever it prints and whatever interest rate it increases by impacts every other currency. Okay, so people start buying USD, like institutions and XYZ would start buying USD in order to hedge against the current situation that's happening. So it's quite funny that all other countries around the globe which are backed by the USD, if they increase their interest rate, well, they get screwed, right? But if USD increases its interest rate, then it's fine. It actually means that whatever country you're in, you're going to get more money for your bucks, right? More bang for your bucks. Very simple, literally, right? So that's the situation. So I've been on USD for a very long time. I've mentioned this as well, how USD, by being in USD, I'm getting more pounds than I would have a year ago. Let's put it this way. I'm getting more pounds than I would have. So that's one way I've been looking at things. And also, you've probably noticed that I talked about how cash is king. And for me, it's not cash, like, like pounds or anything like this. It's not liquid cash. But I did put myself into some liquid assets. For example, some cryptos that I know that they're doing okay. They're currently at the bottom. And I can take the money out whenever I want if the need arises, right? What happened here? Sorry about that. So the situation is you're probably going to ask, like, what kind of currencies am I talking about? Most importantly, my number one currency has been BTC. Okay, I've been picking up DCA, dollar cost averaging BTC for some time now, a good few months, if not more. And you probably already know that I had buy orders set up to buy at specific rates. So I started doing this. Now, this chart you can see here, for example, let's go into this chart, right? You can see here how the stochastic RSI around June, July started to look positive, and currently you can see the blue line is leading, which is very good. It's a good indicator. However, it is coming into the overbought territory. Not quite yet, so we still have some room. We still have, like, I would say, a week or two to complete what's happening. But focus on the yellow line, which is the RSI, and you can see how the RSI, where you had this area, I'm just going to try and show you. So you had this area here, this particular, not this section, sorry, give me a second, that area there, right? You had this area here where we had a low, and currently this particular area here is higher than this level, which means we've kind of invalidated the downtrend and we're now starting to move up. And that's a good thing. That's what we're looking for, right? So we have these confirmations. We talked about this on another video as well, and I'm going to go into the main chart to show you what I mean, right? So I obviously had my buy orders set up around these figures. Now the 17,365, unfortunately for me, it didn't hit, but I still have that. The buy order is still open. I'm still very optimistic. in the sense that it could potentially go back down if we get rejected. Now we're talking about higher time frames here, and when we're talking about if we get rejected, we're literally talking about the moving averages, right? If we get rejected from the moving average, we will come down. So you can see the blue line is actually the 21-week moving average, and we haven't even touched it yet. And if we did, then that's the 29,946. That gives us confirmation the market is very, very bullish. However, the risk we have right now with all of these lower highs that we're doing is that we could easily get rejected at that point. And you can see this drawing was done months and months and months, if not a year ago. So that's what we're looking at. We need to go and test that level. Of course, we can move through the shorter time frames and see a whole different story. So what I'll do is get rid of my, one second. I'm going to get rid of some of the drawings so we don't need them. So I'll hide them for now. Hide. Right, so let's hide the drawings. We don't really need the drawings if we're going to be doing the weekly stuff, right? So if we're going to move through the shorter time frame. So I'm going to move you onto the 5-day time frame, and on the 5-day you can see again the 21 moving average, the blue line. We haven't even confirmed that yet. We need to go and touch that. So this is a very significant line for us, a very significant level for us. Once we start having the 21 week or 21 day or 21 on a 5-day, 21 moving average basically below us, things are positive. Let's just put it that way. When we have the 21 below us, when we have the 50 below us, when we have the 30 below us, when we have the 100 below us, these are all significant signs, right? So we need to prepare for these, right? So we see number 3, you can see this is the 3-day, and again we're just coming to test that, and this is where we're finding a very small resistance. But if you focus carefully on the top, you can see that there's a purple line where the 21 just above the thing, that's where the major resistance will be. Again, that is confirmed by the weekly chart that we spoke about just a bit ago. Now I'm going to move straight over to the daily, and in the daily you can see we're above. Now that is giving us a positive sign. Of course, we can see that there is a bit of a going to be a bit of a resistance at the 26,000 level. However, it's not the main level. The main level is way up around the $32,000 level, which is indicated by this particular purple here, and this is our current support that we can see on the daily, right? So this is what we're looking at now. If I wanted to hedge against all that's about to come, yes, I am buying crypto because crypto for me is liquid. Am I going to be super bullish? Am I going to be making a shit ton of money? I don't think so, right? If the market goes down, I need to make sure that I understand that my currency, my money could easily go down. Like my crypto could easily crash down 10%, 20%, 30%, maybe 50, maybe 80%, right? I'm okay with that. The reason is if I had my funds inside a bank, and for whatever reason the banks prevent a bank run, right, then I have a situation. Those cash are not liquid for me, so I'm limited to what I can access, and I might not be able to buy anything or do anything. So to prevent this, I said, okay, I'd rather be in crypto, even if my the currency goes down by 20%, 30%, 50%, 80%, doesn't matter. And the same could happen to your currency as well. That currency could also dip by 80%, right? It could be, losing its power weight against the US dollar, for example. Now, I talk about US dollar. A lot of people might think, well, hold on, is US dollar the ultimate currency? No. If anything collapses worse, completely and vanishes, it'll probably be the US dollar. But temporarily, it is been the hedge for me while this whole recession has been building up, right? So I'm working with USD while this recession builds up, at the same time being liquid and trying to get into as many top cryptos as possible. And my recommendations would be coins like Matic, even though I don't like them, but now I'm considering them. Would be like Matic, would be BNB, obviously, would be Ethereum, would be Bitcoin, obviously, Bitcoin as well, and a few others as well. Basically, I'm going to stick around the top 10. Now, though I'm not going to be too much into the dollar pegs, solely because when the dollar crashes, dollar pegs will also crash because they are pegged, right, ultimately. So I'm just trying to manage my risk, and obviously I'm not leaving everything in one basket, if that makes sense, right? I'm also trying to keep some assets aside, so when the dips do happen, there may be some good opportunities, like in real estate, property, land, XYZ, and it could be anywhere, this country, another country, globally, anywhere, it doesn't matter. You probably know that recently I've been to Turkey, and I saw some properties, really cheap properties, and I was surprised that because of how their money crashed back in, I think, February this year or something, you can pick them up for like, this is a property that would have cost you around 80 grand in pounds. Now you can pick it up for like 20 grand. And I was like, how does that work out? It just didn't make any sense to me, but that's what it was. And I was like, okay, this is surprising. So if this is going to be happening, then I think there's an opportunity where we can make a lot more. So this is what I'm doing. There is no right or wrong answer. There is absolutely nothing. I wouldn't say follow me. I could be literally following to the grave, but it's all about being aware. I think that's more important right now, being aware. And don't forget, we've got, like we talked about, the Great Reset, right? It could be anything. We don't know. It could be a climate change. It could be the monetary system. It could be anything. Current system doesn't really work. Even though USD is the global reserve currency, not everybody is part of it, right? Either because they choose not to be, or because United States says, we sanction you, we don't want you to be on there. So there are politics involved. In order to unify everybody, there needs to be one sort of a reserve. Like back in the days, gold used to be like the global reserve, which is brilliant. So they need to find a middle ground and have some sort of a current, a global currency there. Does that mean USD is going to go? Probably not. USD can stay, but it just might not be the global reserve. So this is what I'm focusing on. It's like the global reserve should be and would be one. One, whatever currency it is, whether it's oil, gold, whatever, it doesn't matter. It could be a rock for all I care, right? But that's what's going to happen. And that could be the reset that we're looking for. When that happens, the monetary system will have to also be reset. So that's just my opinion. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, so you do your own research. And yeah, that's just how I'm keeping this, right? I don't want to take this any further. It's going to be a tough one, right? But remember what I say, cash is king. That means the more liquid assets you have, you're the king. If you don't have any liquid assets, if they're going to be locked or potentially be locked, then you're at risk. You will not be able to navigate whatever's about to come. Energy crisis, like in the UK, you've got all of these energy cost hikes and this and that. It's just unbelievable what's happening. I mean, there are people out there who are afraid of turning on their cooker or their stove. I mean, can you imagine this, right? People are being limited to cooking. People are lighting up candles, and I mean, sad for these families, but that's what's happening. And it's not like they're poor or anything. They have jobs, but the jobs aren't covering them. The cost that is rising is not enough for them to cover what's going to come or what's happening right now. And a lot of the people are not suffering quite yet, but they're afraid and they're preparing for what's about to come. They're preparing for what's about to come. So I would urge everybody else to also prepare for what's about to come, because things don't look right. And these are all indications to me that, forget the government, the whole financial monetary system is in trouble, right? This is just what I see basically. So I'm just treading cautiously. But yeah, listen, I'll be doing a little bit more updates in this. I'm just kind of like, so for me, my preparation, what I've been doing is, I've been trying to do as much work as possible. I've been signing up to all of these gig economies and everything as well, delivery services, whatnot. I actually applied for Uber delivery yesterday. I don't really care. For me, the point is as long as I have enough platforms out there that I can support myself, or at least pay my bills without dipping into my crypto, because that's what I've been doing all this time. I mean, a good few years now, right? More than that. And right now, I cannot afford to dip into crypto. I need to get excess cash in order to do this. And that's why I'm working my backside off, so I can get as much money as possible. Like I would call it surplus money. So this is money that I don't have. This is money that I'm now getting from elsewhere by working, consulting, advising, doing whatever I can, even doing gig economy, whatever, right? So that's the whole game right now. It's like I want to get as much money as possible from outside, because I've been living off crypto for a very long time, and this is the first time in my personal journey into crypto since 2015 that I've actually decided not to dip into crypto, not to say I have enough. No, I don't have enough. Trust me, this is an opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity. And it's the same as every other lifetime opportunity, right? When BTC was around 3K, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is also a once in a lifetime opportunity. But remember, we are going to have the biggest test coming, so remember, there will be a calm before the storm, and then things will move. So Right now, things looking good. I think BTC could either pump all the way up or it could pump all the way down. Whatever the case is, that's the calm before the storm. So, you know, I want to be in it. I don't really care. Even if BTC goes down a further 80% right now, I'm still going to buy right now today, because that's going to be a better hedge than anything else. Because whatever happens, ultimately people are going to do a full circle, full 360, and come back again to crypto. So crypto will pump. Stocks, a lot of people are talking about stocks, they're exiting stocks. I'm like, well, yeah, great, but if you believe in that stock, if you think that stock is going to be around for another decade, right, then by all means go and buy right now. Because, right, these companies, unless they're bankrupt, unless you know something, they will actually jump back up again. They will bounce. They will, you know, they're just being stretched like an elastic band, but they will bounce back to normal. And when they do, trust me, there's a lot of opportunities there, a lot of assets to be made. But other than that, look, I don't want to go on about this the whole time, but that's what I'm doing. So I hope this kind of made sense. And you found this informative. And really, there's nothing else to, as I said, on the charts as well, there's nothing else to talk about other than the fact that on the daily we're looking to go and test the 26k, and the weekly we definitely have to go and test that 29k. You can see here 29,000 area, 28.3. Hold on, let me just check. This, yeah, 28,500 area, or 29,000, call it. That's what we got to test basically in order for us to be confirming that yes, we do definitely want to start moving up. But other than that, the market looks very, very positive, even though the news and everything is bad. But remember, nothing is absolute. So if we think it's positive, it could easily turn out to be negative. But always, you know, have a cautious mind and you know, stay safe basically. But as I said, for me, it doesn't matter. Even if it dumps another 80%, I'm still going to be buying today regardless of dump on 80%, because if my money crashes, then it could easily vanish completely. It might be a whole different currency. At least I know I have access to liquid assets that I can actually sell, dump, do whatever I want, whenever I want, and take out whatever the current new form of money or currency would be. So that's an easy way for me to kind of just say this in a layman's term. So other than that, guys, I hope this was informative. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Share with one other. Let's grow this community. And I will sort out Discord and this and that. I know everything's in a bit of a mess. We will sort it out. Also, talking about Paradexes, let's talk about Paradexes a little bit as well. Paradexes, I just had a couple of artwork delivered yesterday. There's a few more bits and bobs left. Everyone's kind of taking a back seat right now. I think everyone's kind of feeling the pain. So I'm not really pressuring anybody. I know the development team has been completely silent recently. I think they're having some sort of an issue, or they're busy with something else. I'm not quite sure, but probably it's partially my fault as well, because I haven't been on it as much as I should. So they're a bit silent right now, so I'm not going to say anything. I know there are some technical issues going on, but as soon as it's ready, we will. So Paradexes, remember, when it's 100% ready, we will announce it. Until then, there's no point us talking about it, hyping it or pumping it. But you know, if you know people who want to get ready, then get on board, get ready, because when it's ready, it's ready. And I think it will be ready sooner than later. So let's see what happens. But other than that, guys, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.